college football playoff, if it were to start today with the 12-team format, here's what it would look like. You ready for it? Georgia, Ohio State, Tennessee, and Michigan, the top 4 seeds. And then you've got Oregon and Oklahoma State. You've got Clemson playing Syracuse. You've got Alabama, UCLA, TCU, Ole Miss. I'd go Clemson, Michigan, Oregon, Georgia, Ohio State, Bama, Tennessee, TCU, Tennessee, Ohio State, Georgia, Michigan. I'd have my top 4 teams move to the center.
Yeah, I was waiting for that.
Yeah.
So no upsets.
No upsets. I would have no upsets there under this scenario, and I would have Michigan, Ohio State in the final.
I would have TCU over Tennessee. I have Alabama over Ohio State. Michigan obviously over Clemson.
Obviously.
Georgia over Oklahoma State. That's where I would be with it. So it'd still be Georgia, Michigan, Alabama, and TCU.
I wouldn't count Alabama knocking off Ohio State.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
I said Alabama.
Wouldn't you?
I don't like this year's Alabama team. I never did. That's why I was never worried about.
I know, but it's Nick Saban.
Yeah, I know it's Nick Saban, but that same Nick Saban team gave up 52 to Hendon Hooker in Tennessee. So, did you ever think a Nick Saban team would give up 52 points?
Not really.
Oh,
No.
You know why? Because it's never happened.
Yeah.
He's never given up 50.
You know what I would do with that game? Throw it out. Like I told you, throw out a bad game. I think the following week he'd get him ready. I think he'd use it as you guys want to be embarrassed again? I don't know. I would never count that guy out.
But this is the thing, and I said this when we talked about.
You said it from day one that they won't be there.
I said they won't be there, and it's because of what I saw last year. I saw a team that weren't the same secondary that I'm used to seeing from a Nick Saban coach team. That's not the same offensive line from a Nick Saban coach team, and they're actually the same, if not a little bit worse this year. The wide receivers, they're young guys. We're used to them having young guys, but we're used to them young guys being Amari Cooper. They're used to them young guys being Mays, those young guys being John Mechie, Jamison Williams, Jalen Waddle. Well, they're young guys, but, you got Devontae Smith as a freshman making a game-winning touchdown in the national championship game. They don't seem to be that team from last year, and, I didn't believe they were that type of team last year. You know what I'm saying? And now I look at it this year, same thing. They're making mistakes that you don't typically see a Nick Saban coach team. They don't give up big plays. They're not out of alignment. They're not out of phase with DBs and wide receivers. They're getting beat at the line of scrimmage. If you were to tell me that a Nick Saban coached Alabama team would get driven back the offensive line and the defensive line couldn't get to the quarterback, I would tell you you're lying. I would tell you that was Ole Miss parading as Alabama Crimson Tide guys. That's what you're seeing from this Alabama team, and I think this is the one year with SEC. It's going to be tough because you got other teams making runs. So this is going to be a tough year for Nick Saban. We'll see what he's made of.
Well, here's what I like about the 12-teamer.
I love the 12 team.
I like the odd games here. I like these hookups, these matchups that you don't usually see. You don't see Alabama, UCLA. You don't see Oregon, Oklahoma State. Those are the games I'd be most interested in watching and enjoying.
I agree.
I want that.
I do think it's fun, and just because I think the top 4 seeds would move on
that's fine.
doesn't mean the top 4 seeds wouldn't be able to move on.